but hoping that we will bring amendments so that all the good things that members are talking here will also be captured in that motion. I will start by sending my condolences to the family, friends of those who have lost their lives. There are over 30 people, but we hope the exact number is going to be provided. Mr. Speaker, I also want to express my sympathies to the family of those people who lost their lives within the precincts of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that Parliament requires to be cleansed because the blood of innocent Kenyans is within the presence of Parliament, and I hope those of us who believe in prayers will have prayers to also cleanse Parliament so that we continue as a holy institution, as a sacred institution, and as a respected institution. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Senate leadership, led by yourselves and the minority and majority leaders, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, as we are reflecting on what is happening in our nation, the house that has caused all this problem, they are in hiding, Mr. Speaker. They are in hiding. Many of them are hiding from the people. Many of them don't want to be seen in public because they know what they did was not right. And the Senate has taken up the challenge of being a house of reason to discuss these issues freely. And I just hope, Mr. Speaker, whatever we discuss here, we debate here, should not just end with this debate, but we should have a system of ensuring that whatever we talk about here is actually implemented. I think that will be the main challenge as we debate this particular motion, that what strategies are we going to employ to ensure the many good things we have discussed are implemented. Mr. Speaker, I think the protest by the Gen Zs is a awakening call to the government and to the entire population of Kenya. And this is a moment that we require to reflect and reset our nation, reset this Senate, reset the National Assembly, and reset all the state organs so that they comply to the wishes of the many Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, I have listened to all the speakers who had an opportunity to speak to this motion. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to divert a bit and say the problem of this nation is here. The problem of this nation is with the Parliament of Kenya. The problem of the other institution that is responsible for our problem is the presidency. And we have not talked eloquently about that. I want to take this chance to talk about that, Mr. Speaker. Parliament, what happened to Parliament? Parliament was a holy institution that was always on the side of the people. And I remember, Mr. Speaker, when I was a student at the university here, long before I knew I would become a politician, I used to come to the public galleries to watch Boni, Khalwale here, Onyonka here, debate. To debate. And I used to enjoy the debate, Mr. Speaker. I used to enjoy the debate because they were debating openly and there was no fear. And they were there for the people of Kenya. But Parliament of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, and I'm not accusing anyone, we have descended. Parliamentary democracy has descended in this country. When we talk about all the omissions that we have talked about, someone listening to us will ask, what have you people done? All this has happened under your watch. What have you done? When we say the IG should be removed from office, what has Parliament done? That is National Assembly and the Senate. So we stand to be blamed by Kenyans. And when we reflect, I think a lot of reflection has to be focused on Parliament. Mr. Speaker, we have allowed Parliament to be an appendage of the state. We have allowed Parliament to be an appendage of state. How do you feel when before a critical bill before the House, parliamentary group meetings are held in State House? Mr. Speaker, I think we need to change the standing orders so that all parliamentary group meetings are held within the presence of Parliament. Even my own party, ODM, we should hold our meetings within the presence of Parliament. Let our leader come here and chair our meetings. Let President Ruto come to this Parliament and chair the parliamentary group meeting within the presence of Parliament. The idea of us being taken to State House and given orders on how to operate in this house, how to vote, has to stop from today. Mr. Speaker, we always start on a wrong note when we have a new Parliament. That even our own leadership for parliamentary committees and especially departmental committees, it is decided in State House. And our own secretariats here in Parliament just facilitates that. We need to ensure parliamentary democracy comes back so that let the members of the committee freely elect their leader. Because I have served in the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, and I saw chairs of committees were behaving like PS to cabinet secretaries. How will they oversight cabinet secretary when you as a chair, you are very cozy with the cabinet secretary? You go to his office to drink tea in the morning, to eat lunch, seek favors, and this person is supposed to appear before you to answer questions. How is it possible? Honorable members, I think before we blame any other institution, we have to start here. We remember in 2008, when Marende was the Speaker of the National Assembly, when everyone thought that the country was going to burn, Parliament stood and united the country through the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you have done so well as a Speaker. But I'm sorry, the Speaker of the National Assembly has let us down. Because you cannot be a Speaker of the National Assembly and then over the weekend you put on party colors. To go to meetings, political meetings, make political statements. I'm the kingpin of the Luya. I am the party leader of this party. We need to have speakers who are impartial, who are independent, Senator, so that they can lead us on the way.
Osotsi.
Honorable Wakoli, my friend, we are reflecting. Allow us to reflect.
Just take a seat.
Allow us to reflect. Allow us to reflect. Allow us to reflect.
Order, Honorable Senator.
I am saying this.
Senator Osotsi, just take a seat. Honorable Senators, we have started so well. Order, Honorable Senators. Before debate started on this particular motion, we said because of the sensitivity and where we are, we allow ourselves to ventilate as much as we can with less interruption. Many of the statements that are going to be made here may touch us not in a friendly way, but yet they have to be said if you're to move forward. So, honorable senators, if we have to move forward, we need to face each other and speak the truth. And ordinarily the truth, no matter the pain that truth may cause, if you are to move forward. And therefore, Honorable Wakoli, when I give you the opportunity, you will have a chance to correct facts that you feel they were not put in the correct fashion. So kindly allow Senator Osotsi to complete his intervention, and thereafter when you rise, you will have that opportunity to put your case as you see, as you deem it fit. Proceed, Senator Osotsi.
Mr. Speaker, I didn't intend to hurt my good friend, the Speaker of the National Assembly, but this is a moment of reflection, and this is something I've thought. I have seen the norms, parliamentary norms, even within the Commonwealth. And it may not be there in the Constitution that the Speaker has to be aligned in some manner, but the norms, the global norms are there. And for us to ensure Parliament is respected, let us have the people who preside over the House, in this case the speakers, not be involved in active politicking over the weekend. And that is the line that I was taking. And if for any good reason that I have offended Honorable Wakoli and his party leader, I want to apologize, but to say that I'm reflecting on that. Mr. Speaker, still talking about parliamentary democracy. Mr. Speaker, when you go to National Assembly, and I think even here, there are words on the door that says, for the welfare of society and a just government of the people. Those words are not there for nothing. They mean something. They talk about welfare of the society. The society is the country. The just government of the people. That should be the words or the phrases that are supposed to guide us in this House. The moment we divert from that and start engaging as political parties or as an appendage of state, we lose it completely. So I think, for me, that would be an important thing. Mr. Speaker, this House has done public participation. But public participation in this country means nothing, Mr. Speaker. They did public participation over housing bill. They did public participation over the first, the finance bill 2023, and even the recent one, finance 2023-24. But the views of Kenyans were not factored in the final report that was presented to the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, these are the things that annoy the people and make us look bad. So even as we are reflecting, I hope that we will have a committee or we'll have some people sitting down and discussing how do we reset Parliament to be what it was and not what we are having now. So, Mr. Speaker, I started by saying that the problem is here, and that is why I'm addressing Parliament. Now let me go to the presidency. Let me go to the presidency, which is the second problem. Mr. Speaker, the presidency must understand that they are in power. They are no longer campaigning. We know they gave us promises. Some of those promises have not been implemented. Kenyans are patient. They are waiting. But don't continue giving promise after promise. Every day you wake up, new promise has come. And sometimes those promises are not consistent. They are not consistent. And Kenyans now, when the Kenyans start having doubt in their leader, When their leader speaks and they say, we know he's not going to say the truth, then we have a problem. So my view is that the presidency needs to understand, and this is what Honorable Halwale said, there are many institutions that can talk on behalf of the president in government. He doesn't have to talk on everything. He doesn't have to appear all over. President Kibaki led this country from his home. I have met 3 ministers in President Kibaki's government who tell me that in the 10 years that Kibaki was the president, he only called them twice. He only engaged ministers when they go to the cabinet and when you are presenting a memo. But outside that, he would not call you easily. So we have a problem. And I hope the president is listening to me. That, Mr. President, you need to change. And the earlier you change, the better. Talk less, appear less in public, and manage your promises. And that way, Kenya, we will not have this problem. Court orders must be obeyed. I mean, when you tell us that mambo matatu, and you threaten people, you don't obey court orders, we have a problem as a country. When you engage the country at an international level in agreements that hurt the people of Kenya, we have a problem. Because the Constitution is very clear, treaties must involve Parliament. They must go through Parliament, Mr. Speaker. That is not happening now. So, Mr. President, wherever you are, if you are listening to me as a leader elected by the people of Vihiga, I want to tell you, Mr. President, even as we reflect as the Senate, we also want you to reflect. And members have talked about changing government. I want to say, Mr. President, I think the first thing you need to do